Glory to Jesus Christ. Welcome back to another episode of City of Desert. And we are picking up with our reading from the first volume of the Philokalia and the writings and sayings of Evagrius of Pontus. In particular, his writings on discrimination in regards to our passions and our thoughts. And today we are picking up on page 48 of volume 1. And we are considering saying number 16. It's a little bit longer than the others, but here Evagrius is painting an image for us of what takes place within the mind and the heart, or what should take place within the mind and the heart, that we, as a shepherd guides his sheep, we similarly seek to guide our thoughts toward God and to protect them from being overtaken by the evil one or the beast. And so the image is very powerful, and I think something important for us in the spiritual battle. Evagrius writes, as a sheep to a good shepherd, the Lord has given to man intellections of this present world. So God has given us the capacity, being made in his image and likeness, but also having endowed us with the nous, the eye of the heart that has the capacity to comprehend the things of God, that which has its origin in the divine, and to comprehend these things through faith. So Evagrius begins by telling us that the Lord has given us the ability to comprehend his presence and his love in creation itself and in everything around us. For it is written, he has given intellection to the heart of every man. To help man, he has given him incensive power and desire, so that with the first he may drive away wolflike intellections, while with the second he may lovingly tend the sheep, even though he is often exposed to rain and winds. So he's given us the incensive faculty and the appetitive faculty. The incensive allows us to protect our own thoughts, that which is good within our mind and our heart, from the approach of the evil one, from the provocations of the demons, to strike out quickly and swiftly, to protect the sheep, as it were. And he's also given us the appetitive faculty, that is the desire, he tells us, to protect and to love the sheep, to love that which is good within us and that which God has given us, that we might lovingly tend to our thoughts and see them as something that is precious to us. He continues, in addition, God has given man the law so that he may shepherd the sheep. He's given him green pastures and refreshing water, a psaltery and harp, a rod and staff. In this way, he gathers hay from the mountains and is fed and clothed from his flock. For it is written, does anyone feed a flock and not drink its milk? So God has given us everything that we need beyond these faculties that with which he's created us, but he's also given us the law, the scriptures, what he's revealed to us, and all the means through which he nourishes us throughout the course of the day. And so in singing the Psalms in particular, we aren't simply reflecting upon them, but we are nourished upon them as if they were milk. And so we grow stronger in and through our prayer. Therefore, the solitary ought to guard this flock night and day, making sure that none of the lambs is caught by wild beast or fall into the hands of thieves. Should this happen in some valley, he must at once snatch the creature from the mouth of the lion or the bear. So a solitary must guard and protect his thoughts, again, as a shepherd guards his sheep, and hold the sheep, hold the thoughts that especially come to us from God as precious, and being willing to lay down our life for them. And so the shepherd, or the individual, the ascetic, is to be willing to lay down his life through fasting, through vigils, through constancy of prayer, through every ascetical discipline in order to guard and protect that which is most precious. And so we are not to become lazy or negligent in our guarding of the heart and the guarding of our thoughts, but in fact, the opposite. We are to be ever vigilant, like the shepherd. What does this mean for the lambs to be caught by wild beasts? It means that when we think about our brother, we feed on hatred. When we think about a woman, we are moved with shameful lust. When we think about gold and silver, we are filled with greed. And likewise, when we think about gifts received from God, our mind is gorged with self-esteem. The same happens in the case of other intellections if they are seized by the passions. So he lays out for us in a very clear way how our thoughts that are directed towards that which is good and able to see the good things that God has given to us, whether it is the things of this world, material goods, relationships with others, that the wolf can come and make us look at these things as objects that we possess, and we begin to think about them in a distorted and sinful way. So lustfully, or filled with greed, or with self-esteem. So being filled with pride, even over the spiritual gifts that God has given to us. And so this is how the beast will attack. We must not only guard this flock, he tells us, by day, but also keep watch at night. For by having fantasies of shameful and evil things, we may lose some of the sheep entrusted to us. And this is the meaning of Jacob's words. I did not bring you a sheep which was caught by a wild beast. I made good of myself the thefts of the day and the thefts of the night. I was parched with heat by day and chilled with frost by night, and sleep departed from my eyes. So he's again painting an image for us of what goes on within the heart, that there are sacrifices that are made, that we gain these sheep, these good thoughts, these good images from God through hard work, the hard work of the ascetic life. And so they weren't simply given to us, but they were fought for and protected over the course of the day and the night. And so, again, emphasizing the vigilance that we are to have over our own hearts. And finally, he writes, if a certain listlessness overtakes us as a result of our efforts, we should climb a little up the rock of spiritual knowledge and play on the harp, plucking the strings with the skills of such knowledge. Let us pasture our sheep below Mount Sinai, so that the God of our fathers may speak to us, too, out of the bush, and show us the inner essence and sign of signs and wonders. So if we're overtaken by a kind of listlessness, we are to draw close to God in prayer, to shepherd our flock at the foot of Mount Sinai, as it were, so that we might be warmed, if you would, set afire, aflame by the burning bush. We would draw close to God in order that our fervor once again might be inflamed, and that we might enter into this struggle as shepherds of our own hearts and our own thoughts with a greater desire for God. And so let us pray today that God would bless us with the vigilance of which Evagrius speaks, that we would hold the gifts of God precious, and that we would do everything in our power to protect them. Thank you, and God bless you, and have a wonderful day.